Hey viewer, it's your Royal Majesty, the CDI Queen. I know it's been a while. You see, these last few months have been very chaotic for me because I actually got married. So now that that's over and out of the way, I plan to getting back to your regularly scheduled program, and I apologize for the absence in all of this time. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about something so exciting. You know, last few years have actually been surprisingly fruitful for us in that fringe fandom of the CDI realm. You know, we've gotten some incredible things. We've had the Tetris soundtrack by Jim Andron. He remastered that and put it out on a special edition vinyl. I missed that one. Of course, you had me several years ago getting the Zendo from Laser Lords. You have these incredible works in honor of the CDI, like Arzette, which I have not gotten around to playing yet, but I definitely intend to. You have the remastered Vigamelon and Faces of Evil, just this really, for a console that was not even popular when it came out 30 years ago, we are really fortunate to have so much new content always out there, whether it be from other fans like me and you, probably, or from the actual content creators. And that brings me to this incredible news that if you did not know it, Stefan Peak, I don't know how you say his name, I'm going to pretend you say it Stefan Peak, and I apologize if that's not right. The composer to the soundtrack of Lost Eden, one of the most prolific CDI games, and yes, I understand that it was released for PC as well, so it's not an exclusively CDI game, but it really shined on the CDI, and I think it's hailed as one of the best titles for the console, particularly because of the soundtrack and the visuals and you know, a lot of things, and we'll get into that in a minute here. But the soundtrack was really what sealed the deal on this game. Always highly regarded in many spheres. I've had friends listen in while I'm listening to it and they go, "What is that? Like, what?" I played Lost Eden for my husband. We played the whole game. He watched as they replayed the whole thing. He says, "Hold on, that soundtrack's really good." Like, yeah, no, it is. It's really good. It's good for any game. It's good for any music. But we have been so blessed this year, and that Stefan Peak has released a high-definition version of the soundtrack that you can buy now on Bandcamp. Please, do not stream it. Do not Yarhar Fiddle DD it. It's 14 euros or 13 euros, $14. Go on Bandcamp, you buy it, you use your PayPal. It's simple, it's secure. You get the whole thing. You support him. He's really done a wonderful thing for us by releasing this almost 30 years later. So Lost Eden is going to be 30 years old next March. 1995 is when it was released. I was 4 years old. So hard to believe. But just think about it. 30 years later, he has given us this gift. It comes with a lot of really fun things. We get some new, slightly new arrangements of older tracks, and really the highlight of it is that he has redone it's called the Lost Eden theme, but you and I will know it as the original soundtrack that plays in the opening of the game in the Citadel of Mo. And it's really, to me, the best track. Second to the one in Tao's Adventure Cave, for lack of a better term. But the Citadel of Mo theme is just so powerful for me and so deep, and he's rearranged it, added some different instruments, added some more things here and there. So that is really a treat to the ears. But really, as a hardcore fan, as I am, and as you likely are, I want you to buy it and just listen to it. Listen to it on headphones and close your eyes and get in a comfortable place and just go back to Lost Eden. For me, hearing that Citadel of Mo track, every time I hear it, and I've listened to it my whole life basically, I always come back to this really, really, really happy place because Lost Eden was one of my very favorite games, period, as a kid. We saw it come out. It was in, I guess we got the little CDI magazine that would show you the games that were coming out. And I remember seeing it and we went, oh man, it's dinosaurs, we gotta get this. And we got it and it instantly became a huge, huge, huge favorite between my sister and I. And we spent a very long time playing it. We were quite emotionally involved and invested in it. It was, playing it now as an adult, you do see that the game is extremely linear. It doesn't have all that much to it as far as like really interesting gameplay. It's more about the music, the visuals, the emotions behind the game, and the story and the characters, because the characters are actually pretty well developed for a mid-90s game. I know some of them might seem a little bit one-sided, but there's more to them. It was made with a lot of love, and you can tell that it really was, and it's a wonderful game. It puts me back to when I was little, and I would get up before the sun came up and run downstairs and plug my little headphones into the CDI and stick them on my head and turn it on, and you'd hear that start up, and we'd get into it, and Eloy would start his little message, and we'd skip to it, and I hear that Citadel of Mo theme come in, and I go back there now as an adult, and it's like everything is good, and everything is stable and calm, and I'm there, and it's Eden, and it's all these Eloy and Eve and Dina, and these characters that care about me, and I care about them, and I'm not going to get into all the emotional investment around Mungo and things like that, but I'll just say for those of you who have played the game, it was powerful. It was powerful for me. But I digress. I'm not here to completely give a whole review of Lost Eden because I don't think I really need to. It speaks for itself, and so many people have talked about it and reviewed it and played it. If you want to see a playthrough of the game, I have not done one, and I probably won't. But you can watch a very good comprehensive playthrough, as always, with my friend, the Half-Blind Gamer. He has a great playthrough of Lost Eden with some always clever and thoughtful, not obnoxious or too much, but very clever and thoughtful and useful commentary as he does in his games. So shoot on over to his channel if you have not played Lost Eden, and if you don't have the means to. If you have not played and you do have the means to, then you should play it. But I understand that's difficult for some people just because of the DOS version is not as good, or getting a CDI and the blah 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 blah. Anyway, long story short, we need to support Stefan Peak. This is very important. This is very, very, very important because he is a precious commodity to the CDI realm of things. I'm so happy that he has done this, and there's a memo inside the download when you purchase it that is in English and also in French, because I believe English is, I don't know if he even speaks English. It might just be that he translates it or has a translator. But French is definitely his native tongue, I guess. And he talks about how he started development on it and kind of some techniques. I'm not going to read any of it because I want you to buy it and read it for yourself. I don't want to spoil any of it, but from a like sound engineering aspect, it's an interesting read. It's not very long, but he gives some good info, and at the end, I will tell you, he teases that there is more to come, and I am really hoping that he's going to make some new material, because I have to tell you, this music in this game, I have never heard any music that even comes close to it in the ethereal, tribal, melodic, deep, powerfulness that it has. I have searched far and wide. I have looked up Tribal Groove, and I've listened to Amethystium, and all very good things, but I've never been able to find anything that quite cuts it the same way that this soundtrack does. Even his soundtrack to Dune, which is also quite beloved, the Dune game, it doesn't quite have the same thing. And what I really love about it, me being a musician myself, of course nowhere near to his level, but having had some classical training and dabble in some composition myself, what I really love about this album is that you can feel that he has traveled the world and that he has brought in influence from Africa, from the Middle East, from everywhere, synthesizers, anything. It's so eclectic, and yet it makes this completeness that just resounds with the soul. It's almost ancestral. It's ancestral and primordial, and it's listening to the sound of the stars as they were made, and the voices of our ancestors as they are gone, which reflects much of the theme in Lost Eden itself. But I think it also is a lot to us as human beings, and that is a great gift. You know, I love Jim Andron's Tetris soundtrack. This is not the same. The Tetris soundtrack, it's vaporwave, it's beautiful, it's very American, very classic American. I don't want to say elevator music because that gives it a bad connotation, but just like this pure Americana, and its beauty, and it's warm, it's fresh, it's outdoors, it's mountains, it's moose, it's lovely, and it's very dear to my heart. The Tetris soundtrack is very dear to my heart, and I'll talk about it one day in another video. But Stefan Peek's Lost Eden soundtrack, it's deeper than that. It's the question of past lives, and it's an answer of forgotten voices, and you need to buy it. If you haven't already, I'm sorry, but, you know, streaming it on Bandcamp is fine, and I've streamed it, you know, in my car, getting to work and things like that, just because out of ease, but I have bought it. Yes, I have, obviously, because I've seen all the stuff inside it, but I think he's going to give us more things, and for what he's doing, and the soul and heart, you know, 30 years later for us, he's doing this. We need to support him, and we need to rally and support him, and even people who are not fans of the game should really be hearing this and loving it and sharing it as this human experience, just this powerful human experience of this beautiful, unique music that joins us of all color and nation and language and sound and tone and pitch and soul. It's all, we're all in it, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel when I listen to it. I sound like I've been doing drugs, but I haven't. This is how this music makes me feel. It's how it makes my heart and my soul and my mind and my body feel. And I hope that you all feel the same way about it. If you don't, then I guess I'm just crazy. But yes, please, I'll put a link in the description. You know, there's the previous Lost Eden soundtrack that he released a long time ago. That one's still out there, and it's on Bandcamp. So you want to make sure you get the one for 2024. You can get it both, but, you know, to get the full effect, we need to support him, and we need to be there for when it's time for more things to come out. So, my closing statement is actually for Stefan Peek. In case he manages to hear this or have someone translate, I don't know. Look, I don't know. I don't know the man. I don't know if he speaks English or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We need more music. We need more music that's not Lost Eden. We need more of this everything I've described. Like, I will buy it. I will support it. I will buy everything made. I will do anything. I will. And I think there are people that speak for me as well, that they will too. We need this music in our lives. We need more of this melodic, entranced, tribal, beautiful music. And I ask this as a huge fan, that whatever you make, I will be there to support it. And everybody else who's listening to this video, I hope you join me in supporting him in everything that is to come. And we're gonna have to do something really big for Lost Eden's 30th anniversary next year. 30th anniversary! Okay. By the soundtrack! Thank you for listening to my rambles. I will see you all soon.